Up, Bloody Nerdigans, this is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and today's book nerdigan discussion is A Beautiful Dark by Jocelyn Davis. If you have not read A Beautiful Dark by Jocelyn Davis, then why the commie are you here? Go read the book and then come back so we can talk about it. Because this book is really good, and yes, this is part of my hashtag AngelReadAthon. There will be parts of the series, like as other books of my hashtag AngelReadAthon, will be mentioned in my ultimate book nerdigan rant, which I don't know when it's going to happen because there's just so many Angel series that I have in my library. And I keep getting more of them. I get good deals, okay? I do. And I'm going to say this, there's going to be a lot of love for this series because Jocelyn Davis, for one, I think she follows me on Twitter. If she doesn't, you should. But I know she communicates with me on Twitter, so she gets a lot of props. And the series doesn't get a lot of love from the booktubing community, so I want to make sure that I give the series lots and lots of love. So here we go. And as you can see, there's the cover. You have Skye in a flying position because she's dreaming. Oh, I'm sorry if you see a reflection on my TV. You have Skye in a flying position because she's dreaming. She has a dream of where she's flying, and the writing style on here is beautiful. And the thing I like about this series, I want to say this to start with, is it's similar to a lot of the books that we've seen in the hashtag AngelReadAthon, where it's okay to be dark. And you notice, and I'm going to refer back to Onix's, Onix's message and also Nox's message in the Embrace series about how it's okay to, the Angel Malign are not a bad group. They're not bad at all. Because you have the rebels, and this one it's not just light or dark. You have the rebels and you have the guardians, so it's a little bit different here. But you have similar. They're similar though. You have the guardians, which are the guardians are similar to like the angels of light, where they stick by rules and they have no sense of free will. And then you have the rebels, which are free and they love to cause chaos. So yeah, I wanted to give you a little bit of background on that before I went into this. So it starts off with a surprise party for Skye going into her 17th birthday, and it's thrown by her best friends, and you have that similar theme to Violet in the Embrace series, where she doesn't always look forward to her birthday, and during her party, she goes outside and she meets Asher. And I think Asher is so awesome. I love Asher. And Asher kind of, I don't know if Asher, if you would want to say Asher reminds you of Phoenix, or kind of Asher reminds me of Phoenix a little bit, but without the, actually no, I want to change my mind on that. Devin is more like Phoenix, and Asher is more like Lincoln. I will say that. Asher is more like Lincoln. He is. He totally is. And so after she meets Asher, the mysterious Asher, she goes back into the bathroom. She goes into the bathroom and notices her eyes are silver. And this is a key line, nerdigans, that something that her dad said before he passed away: little silver bells, when they ring we'll know. And then after they turn back to gray, the first thing Skye sees is a fight between Devin and Asher, and the boiler in the basement explodes, and we find out what really happened. I don't think it's in this book. I think it's in the second book that we find out what really causes that. But I like what Cassie says, though. And by the way, I love Cassie as a character, and I'm totally Cassie, because she's a band nerdigan like me. She is. She's a total band nerdigan. I'm a band nerdigan, so I'm with Cassie. I could totally relate to Cassie's character, and I appreciate having a character like Cassie in this series. And and I want to say this too, and I'm fixing my hair while I'm doing this, so I'm sorry, because my hair is coming out weird, funny, is that Cassie and Dan, like, Dan reminds me of my ex-boyfriend. He does. Dan totally reminds me of my ex-boyfriend. And I love what Cassie says here. She says that some guys are cute and some guys are hot. And it's true. Angels are fucking hot. They're on a whole other level of hotness. And so basically they go and they she runs into Asher before school starts and helps Asher find his homeroom class. And of course she's in the homeroom class with her. And apparently Asher is a hot new student, and Devin is his cousin. And the girls, it's so funny, and it reminds me why I don't like having girlfriends that much. I'm sorry, female book nerdigans, I just don't. Because girls are just hella gelling on Skye swagger. She is. And Asher is so weird. Asher is like hella stalker-ish because he even mentions that he knew that Skye was in the same class as him, and she was never late until today. And the scoop on their alibi, I should say, and backstory, I shouldn't say alibi, backstory, is that Asher and Devin transferred from Whitefall Academy at the private school in Denver that burned to the ground the previous semester. And I love it with Skye's sense of humor is funny. I love her sense of humor. And I think Ian was asking if Skye was there, and here, and Skye was like, here in the coffee shop or here in the universe. And I was so pissed when Skye turned Asher down. That pissed me off. I was like, what? Why did you turn Asher down? And you already had this love triangle going on between Asher and Skye and Ian. And Ian was going to give her the coffee for free, and Asher was being a gentleman and paying for it. And come on, I would have said yes. I like Asher a lot. His character is really sweet. And Devin's eyes, I swear to Kami, Devin's eyes sound super sexy as hell. Girls, hear me out here. This is how his eyes sounded. Soft and hard at the same time, water and ice, and the bluest blue I'd ever seen. They almost didn't look real. And I love the last word. Ian got the last word on the latte, and when he filled Skye's latte up, it said, "This one's on me." And then when Skye got home, Skye's got powers, man. She raised the temperature without touching the thermostat until it hit 101 and then shorted out. And so Skye's flipping the fuck out. She goes up and hikes in the mountains, because this is in Colorado, keep in mind. And she almost fell, and Devin saves her from falling. And Devin makes a point to her about how important it is to have rules and to find her to find or to be in control. Excuse me. And something that Asher said here that I really like what he said about the importance of chaos. Think about this. Or they discover life-saving medical procedures, or invent machines that make our lives easier, or win Nobel Prizes for advances in world peace and get written in history books. Rule breakers color outside the lines. They change the world. You gotta think about that. That's really true. Rule breakers do change the world. A really good example. Look at Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg definitely changed the rules to get Facebook started. I'm just saying. Oh, and then when they go on the bus, another example of Skye's powers going crazy is when they're on the bus to, or as I like to say, the cheese wagon. Yes, the cheese wagon. To go on the ski trip. And she short circuits the heater, because the heaters suck on those buses, and I guess the bus wasn't warmed up. And Skye touched the heater, and it like short circuited and warmed up. It was great. And I didn't mention this already, but stop freaking. I'm sorry if my computer internet is being retarded, but let me just do this. This might help. Okay, so something that I didn't mention is that Skye is a champion skier, and the reason why she skis is that it makes her feel free, and it feels like she's literally flying. And when she was racing Skye, she was flying, or not, Skye was racing Asher, she was flying, and she flips out. She's freaking out because she's flying, and because she was racing Asher, and an avalanche happened, and she and Asher were in a cave-in, and Asher made a small flame appear, and Skye's palm, and it didn't burn her at all, which was really freaky. And then when they're in the hospital, or in the infirmary at the lodge, Devin was able to heal Skye's ankle. And seriously, where's Asher? He should be here, but whatever. And Devin can't heal brain injuries. And it reminds me, of what series is it? The Census Thieves series by Corin Jackson. There's a similar healing ability that the healers have, but if the person has a brain injury or a head injury, they can't heal them at all. So I thought that I would put that out there. So here's the story. Well, Asher tells the story around the campfire, but it's actually really true. So here we go. So there was an all-important council that ruled over the people of Earth. It was higher than the President of the United States, higher than the world powers of the world. It was called the Order, older than time itself. The Order was responsible for one thing: to keep the world in check. Its members fell into ranks. The highest were gifted with the sight, aka basically it's the soul. If you remember the Embrace series, the soul. The ability to foresee people's destinies, and the gifted saw it as their duty to guide those lives who roam the earth, while the lower ranks were forced to carry the orders of the gifted. Kind of sounds like the Gregory, if you think about it. They were known as the guardians of the natural order, or guardians for short. They had no free will. They were essentially slaves to the gifted's commands. A small group began to emerge who refused to adhere to the way of things. They believed the world would be better if those gifted with the sight didn't meddle in the fragile balance of the earth and its people. The world would be better if there was a little chaos. Allowed to bloom every now and then. If people could make mistakes and live a life that was messy and beautiful. The group formed, fought, and lost, and left the order. But as punishment, the rebels banished from the paradise which they lived, were forced to walk among the people whose lives they used to control. The rebels spent their time on Earth harnessing their own powers to counter the sight of the gifted. They honed their controls of the elements. They learned to create chaos. That was how things were anyway, until the Fire Nation attack. I'm just kidding. Until something unprecedented occurred that rocked the natural order of things. Upsetting both sides, the Order and the Rebel Ion. Love, the great destroyer of worlds, wrecker of your shit. No, I'm just kidding. 18 years ago, a rebel Ion fell in love with a beautiful, lonely guardian. The guardian had a predestined soulmate chosen for her by the gifted. Like all guardians, she had been raised to hate the rebel Ion and everyone in it. But in spite of everything she felt for this rebel Ion, went deeper. Maybe he had sexy eyes, I don't know, or a great smile. Unable to act on her feelings, she tried in vain to hate him. It turned out the rebel Ions were angered by this love as the gifted. And so a council of the highest order was held. 7 of the gifted and 7 rebel elders. The couple was tried. The rebel and the guardian stood together, waiting for the tribunal's final verdict. The price of their love was banishment. They would belong to neither faction. They would be nomads, forced to walk among the people of Earth, stripped of their otherworldly powers. And going forward, their days would be numbered, like the very people of whom they were forced to live. Their punishment was mortality. When the couple settled in a small town and gave birth to a daughter, both sides took note. What would a baby born of the Order and Rebel Ion be like? The gifted and the rebels worried that such a child could be dangerous, but they reminded themselves that this child would be human, and so the vigil began. Agents from both sides were sent to guide and protect her, and to determine what exactly was in store for her future. And Skye remembers her mother singing a lullaby about the rebels and the gifted ones, and there's a connection to Skye. And I swear to Kami that there's a hashtag 6 degrees of Skye. The boiler explosion, the avalanche, the songs, her parents, the thermostat, the heater, the... Where's Kevin Bacon? And apparently Devin and Asher had a family emergency and had to leave in the middle of the night after Aunt Jo picked up Skye. And then we have the Wings, the first appearance of the Wings in this series. So we're seeing Devin and Asher's wings on the roof of the school. So giant wings rose up from their backs in a blaze of feathers. Devin's were pure white, and light bounced off of them so that the feathers resembled waves, peaking and capping, rolling alive. Asher's were black, inky, drawing the heat of the day and the light of the sun and my breath into their feathery fold. And Asher and Devin confirmed the story was about Skye and the rebel and guardian, and the story are her parents. And Devin is a guardian and messenger. And the reason why Devin and Asher forged papers to transfer in the middle of the semester, because you, Skye, turned 17, and the elders have always believed that if anything was going to happen, it would happen now. When you're on the verge of adulthood, that's just it, Skye. We don't know. So I was sent to watch you, and of course the rebels didn't trust me to report honestly, so they sent Asher. It's like in the story Asher told. There needed to be agents from both sides. Yep, that's why there's hella animosity between them. And Devin is supposed to guide and protect Skye and tells her to embrace her destiny because it will make it easier for everyone. Trust me, Skye, I care about you, probably more than I should. I only want to do what's best for you. The Order can see your destiny. It guides us. It allows us to exist in a place with no fear. And then we have Raven, who is just hella gelling on Skye swagger. And she overhears... Devin talking to Raven, or Raven talking to Devin, and this is what Devin says, because he doesn't want to go home, because this is his mission, so go Devin on this. I was picked for this. It's an honor that I will not turn away from. I have to finish this. We'll be together when I get back, when I get back. If I do what they ask me to, I'll have their respect. This will be a good thing for us. And when he comes back, Devin and Raven will be bonded. And Devin and Asher are known as Malik messengers, and according to Devin, we believe we are the ones that keep Earth running. And rebels aren't exactly fallen. Rebels aren't exactly fallen; they jumped. And Asher is a messenger too. So this is what Asher says: I'm often sent on what you would call counterintelligence missions. You know, one of the basic laws of nature. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Well, if you think the Guardians, as messengers of fate, keeping order, balance, manipulating destinies, then we're dispatched to, you know, stop that from happening. We're like our own system of checks and balances. We don't know what Skye is. Her mother is a guardian, and her father was a rebel. Her powers are completely unknown. And this is what Devin says. The gifted are born with sight, as we've told you, and the guardians in turn have other gifts. Nothing like foreseeing destinies, but a few cognitive and precognitive abilities, a subtle influence on people's minds. One of the most useful ways this manifests in our ability to intuit, to connect with pain and heal it. And then this is what Asher says. Skye, watching out for you is the only thing Devin and I have in common. When the rebel ion formed and broke away, their original powers were lost. I don't know if the Order reclaimed them or if they simply faded away when the rebel ion made their home on Earth. Over time, rebels developed their own set of unique powers that they took from the Earth itself and used to give back to it. Elemental forces, water, fire, rain. We can create storms, the ultimate physical arsenal to combat the Order's mental manipulation. And are they immortal? Devin, well, this is what Devin says. No, though our aging process works in an entirely different way than yours. And what Asher says is angels aren't gods. We're born, we grow old, and we die. We're just we just do it all kind of, and then Devin says differently. And then Devin says, we do share many of the same properties as humans, it's true. We look like you for one. We understand and speak many different languages. And well, Skye isn't human, she's faster, survived an avalanche with only a broken ankle. And Asher on breaking the rules. By the order, the rebel ions prefer to think of it as independent thinking, initiative. I like that idea. That's good. That's good. That reminds me of my ex. My ex is totally a rebel. Devin has control of the air, more ethereal of the clouds. Like the rebel ion controls the dark and stormy earthy elements. And Asher can, obviously, we know Asher can create fire. And and I thought this was so sweet. When Skye and Asher are cuddling on the roof, on Skye's roof. It was so sweet. And this is what and Asher's describing the rebel camp. It's more of an alternate realm with than a city in the sky. I've never been there. The rebel ion camp is somewhere else. On Earth, actually, I was never in it. Most of us weren't. Only the rebel elders were a part of it. And I'm sorry. What Asher's talking about is paradise. That's what it means. That's what he's talking about, is about the paradise. So paradise is more of an alternate realm than a city in the sky. I've never been there. The rebel ion camp is somewhere else, on Earth actually. I was never in it. Most of us weren't. Only the rebels were part of it. And we're not allowed back there now, so I live here. But based on how bound Devin is to his commands, I have to say that I'm very glad not to be part of the order. And Asher has been stalking Skye. Yes, he is. We got a stalker here. Long enough to know you pretty well. It was part of the assignment. That's how we knew to make ourselves known to you. When your eyes flashed that first time, things were about to start. And Asher even knows about her ex-boyfriend, Jordan, that basically fucked her over. And reason for Asher's attitude, I love it. I love Asher's attitude. But this is the reason behind it. Do you know why I've been keeping things all light and devil-may-care? Because if you really knew what was happening inside of you, within the order, within the rebel ion, if you knew what the angels were saying, what's waiting for you, you would be sobbing, Skye. You would be paralyzed with fear. That's why I tease you. I'm doing it for you, because if I didn't, you wouldn't make it. You wouldn't last another week. And Skye is still crying, because she's all pissed off about Asher flirting with another girl, with Ellie. Oh my god, that was just when I forgot to mention that scene when Skye caught what was it? When Skye caught Asher kissing Ellie by the ice maker. This was back in the ski scene. Oh my god, that was so funny. And this was after they were drunk as fuck. And she was putting ice in her hot chocolate because it was too hot. What's wrong with putting ice in your... This is why you put milk in your hot chocolate, by the way. Or hot chalky, I should say. Let's see. Oh, and then Asher takes Skye for a night of fun via a snowmobile. That was so sweet. And then Asher says, nothing is going on between me and Ellie. Nothing real, anyway. She's just a girl who's there, not someone you have to work for. See, playing hard to get pays off. I'm sorry, guys. We don't like being easy. And Asher sets the radiator on fire. I wish I could do that because she was taking a makeup exam, and Skye was taking a makeup exam, and Skye set the radiator, or Asher set the radiator on fire. Oh, that was great. And Skye broke up Devin and Asher's fight by using her own power to cause a storm. That was fucking awesome. So, was this when... Oh, I think this was when Devin was teaching her how to contact her power, her guardian power. There we go. The gifted start small. They focus on nuances, a whisper of breath, a hair out of place. They manipulate each and every small thing on Earth, and every little thing has an effect on something else. Just think of what a big change can do. It could sway the path of someone's life, the outcome of battles, the course of history. It's our job as, oh no, this is, I'm sorry, this is Asher. That's Asher that says this. I'm sorry. Let me start over. This is what Asher says. The gifted start small. They focus on nuances. A whisper of breath, a hair out of place. They manipulate each and every small thing on this earth, and every little thing has an effect on something else. Just think of what a big change can do. It could sway the path of someone's life, the outcome of battles, the course of history. It's our job as the rebel ion to stop them from controlling what they have no right to control. And this was when they were at Aunt Jo's place. And Aunt Jo, by the way, she works at a place, and I love that it's called Into the Woods, because it makes me think of the musical. And so basically Aunt Jo's gone most of the time, taking people up into the mountains. So we don't see Aunt Jo too much. We see her more in the rest of the series. And she has a game in her place called A Beautiful Dark, which is a game of strategy or checkers. I thought that was smart, Jocelyn. I thought that was really smart. And then Asher kissed Skye, and I was like, oh, that was so awesome. I loved the kiss between Asher and Skye. It was beautiful. And then Raven accused Skye, and then after Asher left, then we have Raven there, and Raven accused Skye of changing Devin, and that Devin and Asher are pawns in the game. And poor Devin can't give feedback because the gifted's job is to give orders. Oh. And then with Devin, it was great. And then there was the snowball fight with Devin and Skye. That was amazing. And tackling Devin. And Devin on this world. We know our destiny, so we don't have to worry about the future. We follow the rules so no one is hurt and there are no unexpected consequences. It's an eternal state of bliss. I love it there. We have no jealousies, no pettiness. When I walk through the school here, I'm bombarded with anger and envy. I overhear people saying unkind things about one another. Here people are mean and cruel, selfish. With the order, there is beautiful lightness to our being. And, oh my God, when Skye ended up driving over to Devin's and she was like, I don't want to be alone, and spent the night with Devin and spooned with him, I was like, what are you doing? I mean, I don't blame her, because I would have done the same thing. Well, I would have been like, Asher, hello? Asher, why aren't you here? But I'll take Devin, sure. I will risk the wrath of the angry ravens. And then I want to mention this, even though it doesn't have anything to do with Angel lore. I thought it was so sweet when Cassie was singing to Dad. It was so sweet. And Skye dancing with Devin was really sweet too. And then there was the party at Skye's. Oh man, that was crazy as shit. And then we have, and then the next morning, Devin is fixing Cassie's car while I'm sorry, I was just trying to think. Well, Skye and Cassie went out and did a couple of things, and Skye has a vision of herself being hurt, and Asher telling her it's okay to stay with him, and Asher actually doesn't have a heartbeat. Yeah, angels don't have a heartbeat. What? Wait a second. Rafi had a heartbeat. I believe he had a heartbeat. And angels, in the series I'm reading right now, they have a heartbeat. It's the Angel Burn series. Angel Burn series by L.A. Weatherly. It's in their Halos. But I like what, where is it? I like what Asher says. He says it's a misconception that you need a heart to love. I thought that was really funny. So, Raven sabotaged the brakes, and Cassie ended up in a horrible accident. And Skye, in an attempt to save Skye's like screaming, my fault, my fault, my fault, my fault, my fault. It kind of reminded me of the scene with the thing with when in the Embrace series when Steph got kidnapped And she was like, thinking, and Violet was like thinking, my fault, my fault, my fault, my fault, my fault. That's what I was thinking with that scene. And Skye was trying to heal her, heal Cassie, Devin healed her, but instead the machine short-circuited. And then Raven was in the hospital parking lot, and I swear she's gelling on Skye's swagger. And the Gifted know all, including how Skye became friends with Daniel and Cassie, even why Skye hates birthdays because her parents died in a car crash when she was 6. And the Order orchestrated her parents' car crash and wanted to kill Skye, but ended up hurting Cassie instead. And this is what Raven says. But did you already know that they can't read the futures of those around you either? You're blurring the destinies of others. You've certainly changed Devin's destiny. The Gifted can no longer see it. And it's only since he's been around you. He used to be mine. You'd be surprised about how much he is Skye's. Devin is a guardian like me. We do not act on our own whims. The choices we make are not our own. Everything is decided for us, and whatever feelings are growing inside him are going to destroy him. I know him well enough to know that. And Devin was supposed to sabotage the breaks, but Raven checked, and he didn't. And the Order was able to see Devin's future because they could see it at one time. They lost sight of it right before your 17th birthday. It's got something to do with your eyes. And the Order tried to kill Skye multiple times. And Devin was supposed to lure you to make you want him enough that you would willingly come over to our side. And Raven threatened Aunt Jo, and Skye had a vision. The Order injured Jen so Aunt Jo would be away more often. And, yeah. So Skye's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And she's following Raven to meet Astaroth, one of the Order's Gifted, and Orlac, the Rebel Elder. And they say Skye's powers have emerged, light and dark, in small ways and large, and many ways combined even, but dangerous, yes. And Skye has the ability to obstruct others' destinies. And Skye is choosing neither. And I swear to Commune Arceus, this is like, I want to say this is like Bach troll type shit. Yeah, this is like Bach troll shit. I was going to say Eisen, but this is more Bach troll shit. This is totally Bach type troll shit. And what Skye said is she chooses neither. The Order killed her parents. The Rebels wants to use her power, and Skye loses control and causes a massive earthquake. And Raven was right, and this is totally fucking this is totally Bach trolling. And Asher saved Skye, and Astaroth broke the truce by killing Oriax. And Devin stabbed Skye. He stabbed Skye. He'd been sent to kill her and was fighting it all along. And this is what he said: I'm so sorry, Skye. I had no choice, and falling in love with you was the one thing I couldn't help. And seriously, why, Devin? Why? Why did you betray us? And leave with the bastard Gifted? And Asher repeated the words in the vision, and ends with them flying in through the clouds into a beautiful dark. And I love how I see what you did there, Jocelyn. I see what you did there, ending it that way. I loved how it ended on a cliffhanger. I love when books do that. I love it. And I know that I'm going to bring up a little book that's going to be part of the Book Nerdigan rant. Natural Born Angel did the same thing, but the difference is the next book in this series does not piss me off. It sticks with the logic, unlike other certain books. Just saying. But overall, I really like this book. This book was a very fun read. I like the mythology of this book. And the thing is like with the Embrace series and with what's the other series I read before? Oh no. Like with the Embrace series, I like that this focuses on a gray area, because that's important to have that gray area of things, because it can't always be good and evil. There always has to be an in-between. And that's what I like about this series a lot. And the next couple of books is going to really get deeper into that. And I love the writing. I love Skye's character. She is funny. I am totally Team Asher. I love Asher. I know Devin's character gets a little bit better, but yeah, Asher is amazing. I love Asher. And Raven's character and the character development in this series, as you will see in the rest of the trilogy, the character development is amazing. I know I didn't focus a lot on Cassie and Dan and Ian that much, because they aren't super relevant right now. They will be more relevant in the rest of the series, and that's when I will bring up their character a little bit more. But until next time, Nerdigans, keep on reading, and I will see you in A Fractured Light. Until next time, Nerdigans, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and donate to my Patreon so I can keep making videos in Struggle Apartment Studios. And until next time, keep on reading.